Alright, this is Dan House here, very nice, very evil. You are watching True Heel Heat. Probably should have had MJF do this, but here we are.
What's up, guys? It's Wolverine, Death Machine, Mr. GMSI himself, Brian Cage, and you're watching True Heel Heat. Who better? Nobody.
Hello. It is me, your True Hill Phenom, SP3. We are live on the True Hill Heat YouTube and Facebook for AEWramble episode 89. It is showtime. We are here to discuss the April 12th, 2023 edition of AEW Dynamite from Milwaukee, Wisconsin, or as we were talking about during the show, Milwaukee. We will be talking about last night's show from All Elite Wrestling. So, of course, I am here Thursday, 1:05 p.m. Eastern Time, with a man of 48,000 subscribers. You go to him for your TV and movie reviews, as well as your honest criticisms of Tony Khan. It is Jimmy Macram.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the show. Positivity. This is probably when people are tuning in on YouTube fucking a week from now. To bring the excitement. How are you? Welcome. Subscribe and click the notification bell.
You're always on. All day, here we are, ladies and gentlemen, here to discuss AEW Dynamite. Thank you for joining us. Remember to drop the thumbs up on this video. Share this video with all your wrestling fans, friends, and family on all your favorite social media platforms. If you're new to the True Hill Heat YouTube channel, hit that subscribe button, hit the bell to stay notified for all the great content here. If you're watching us on Facebook, drop a thumbs up, a heart emoji, a laugh emoji, an angry emoji, however AEW Dynamite made you feel. And of course, True Hill Heat YouTube channel is an interactive YouTube channel, so whenever we go live, we love to hear from all of you. So give us your thoughts on AEW Dynamite from last night. We'll try to highlight as many of your comments as possible, but the best way to have your comment highlighted on screen is with a super chat donation. Helps the channel grow, helps out our contributors on the channel, and of course, it will make sure that we answer your comment. We got Alan Banky in the chat with some incorrect verbiage because he spelled honest critic of Triple H wrong when it comes to me, and he says that Jimmy is his Lord and Savior. See, he doesn't even know how to spell savior.
No, he meant what he said. Saver.
He's saver.
I'm not a savior. I'm a saver. I'm here. I do what I can. I do have a question. I want your opinion on this. It's an AEW show, so of course I want to talk about Vince. What do you think happened the last Raw and SmackDown? We know it's not because Vince had any self-reflection. That didn't happen. But my question would be, did he just get bored with gorilla position and just said, fuck it, I don't want to do this anymore? Or did Endeavor talk to him? Those are only two options. Him learning from his mistakes, that didn't happen. I know that didn't happen.
No. I think he's just too lazy to go to Portland or Seattle. He was like, nah. I'll show up. He was like people having travel issues going to Monday Night Raw. He was like, nah, I'm good. I'm good.
I'll take it.
He did review and make changes remotely though. I don't know if you read that report.
I did not, but you can always ignore those.
And you could tell what portion of the show on Raw he was in charge of. He was definitely in charge of the Trish Stratus turn because that shit was not set up or planned out well at all.
At all. It makes no sense logically.
No, it doesn't. Not at
have
all.
a 10-minute match, then fucking turn.
And I absolutely love this episode of Raw, and that was the only part where I was just like, no, I'm disgusted by people who told me that's good. That was good. That was well done. I was like, well done. What? We got ALW in the chat, my fellow Laker fan. Good to see you. Any thoughts on my Lakers making the 7th seed? Yeah, you know it.
I got some money on the Lakers.
You denied us. You denied us the whole year. You said you didn't even think we're gonna make the playoffs.
Oh my God, this is sad.
You did.
I have a Lakers fan.
You used to be a
blowing his
fan.
chest up and making the 7th seed. Fucking Shaq, Kobe, Kareem, they're rolling over there. Great. What?
Hey, we started
7th
off
seed.
2-10. We started off 2-10. When we had Smush Parker, I was happy about making the 7th seed too.
Guess what? You're gonna be in the same place and not winning.
Well, he says, "What's up, SP3 and Big Jim? Hope all is well, fellas." We got Dolores in the chat. We got Joseph with it, who's here with us. We got Ace here in the chat. We got Simeon here who says, "What's up, SP3 and Jimmy? This is gonna be a good review." We got. Oh dear. Alan Bakey says, "Everyone do the Jeff Hardy dance." We'll get into that. I'm sure Jimmy has some comments for that moment of the show. Annika says, "Positive Jimmy, I am scared."
No, positive thoughts. That's what we're about here on the channel. Positivity. Good things. Only good things.
There you go. We got Negro Buck say, "Just want to say I appreciate y'all starting a few minutes late. Gave me time to go to the bathroom and change my bong water." Jesus, we're giving too much information in the chat. I love it. I love it.
It's one of the most pot-heady comments I've heard in a while.
Pot-heady.
Pot-heady.
This is the type of vocabulary you get on AEWramble, ladies and gentlemen. We got Roxy who says, "Good morning, everyone." We got Negro Bug saying, "Glad to hear the Lakers are doing well. Appreciate you.
Absolutely.
Much more love than Jimmy Macram."
I agree. Their expectations are now Oklahoma City Thunder as expectations.
When you start at 2-10, I mean, what do you expect?
What's the difference? You lose here, you lose in the play-in, you lose in the first round of playoffs. Who cares?
We'll lose in the second round, unless John Morant pull up with the crew.
Absolutely,
pull up with the Gats. We just need Shannon to be in the crowd every single game.
Nobody wanted that smoke. That shit was hilarious.
We got ALW says, "Don't matter if it's number 1 or number 8 seed, just get in with AD and he who must not be named. We always have a chance if we get in." Lakers 2023.
This is gonna be
NBA
fun.
champs.
I can't wait. A few weeks from now, it's gonna be so much fun. I can't wait. I ain't gonna stop either.
Got like 2 weeks to see if we're wrong and gonna be sad. I should have worn my Lakers shirt today. Alan Bakey saying, "Everyone gets your disclaimer counter ready." Yes, should have 0. A disclaimer for you. We got Straight Up Wrestling Show says, "Can't wait to hear your takes on last night's Dynamite," and we're gonna get into it. Last night's AEW Dynamite, Jimmy, was from Milwaukee, Wisconsin. What did you think about the crowd last night on AEW?
Fucking embarrassing. Should be ashamed of yourselves. And he gave you a decent first hour. You were still quiet. Oh well.
I thought it was a great first hour. Spoiler alert. I thought it was.
Well, to be fair, you think 7th seed is great, so we can't really use your skill. But we'll go with.
I don't think it's great. I just think we got in. I'm just happy we got in. See, you putting words in my mouth. You can put words in my mouth. Who's the hater here?
I'm happy for the Lakers.
You're a LeBron hater. You're a LeBron.
No, I like LeBron. Missed the playoffs a couple years in a row. Got bumped first round.
It was 1 year. 1 year he missed the playoffs.
Right. Him being injured doesn't count, I guess. Oh, okay. Right. That's how that works.
No, he. You said a couple of years in a row. It was 1 year last year.
He's only missed the playoffs 1 year. I know he's missed the playoffs twice.
No, you said your specific statement was missed a couple of playoffs in a row. It was 1 year in a row.
Oh, now I'm with you. Oh, okay, in a row. That's what did it.
Yeah, in a row. I'm very good with specifics.
Gotcha. I'm with you. Yeah.
He's missed 2 with the Lakers.
LeBron James and the Lakers.
Just saying, he missed 2 with the Lakers, but it wasn't in a row.
In
Just
a row,
make that
right?
clear. And we got a ring. Anyway, let's talk about AEW.
Mickey
We
Mouse
got a ring.
Get out of here.
Oh no! Don't do that. Don't give us that white mouse. Don't give it that white mouse. You call it a goofy ring, if anything, to give us the black brother. Give us the brother, Goofy. Single father, working on his own.
Oh, shit.
Dealing with Max. Anyway, let's talk about AEW Dynamite from last night, April 12th, 2023. The show kicked off with singles competition as Darby Allin once again trying to get some momentum as he tries to bid for a shot at the AEW World Championship against his longtime rival, brought up in the Seattle area together, Swerve Strickland, who is now the leader of the Mogul Embassy, as he has merged Mogul affiliates with the embassy. He had Brian Cage and Prince Nana bring him out on stage before he left them in the back. Swerve wanted to shake hands with Darby after cutting a promo saying that he taught everything Darby knows, and Darby wasn't having anything of that. Darby hit a couple of really good dives very early on before Swerve was able to get the advantage. He hits a big old stomp onto the outside on Darby, and this eventually helps tweak his ankle very early on, which would become one of the stories of the matchup. Along with that, one of the other stories of the match was him actually punching Darby so hard Darby started split something in his mouth, probably bit his tongue or something. But Swerve did get control very early on, controlling things, grounding Darby until Darby was able to focus on to the foot of Swerve Strickland. He hangs him upside down in the Tree of War. He takes his boot off and starts biting onto his foot. He's focused on the ankle throughout this one, showing off the remnants after biting a chunk out of Swerve's foot. He locks on a heel hook later on in the matchup. One of the best spots of this matchup was Darby. Swerve put Darby on his shoulders on the apron, and Darby did a crazy poison Rana off the apron to the floor. He brings Swerve back in and he hits the coffin drop. He gets a 1-2, but Prince Nana comes out and puts Swerve's foot on the ropes. Darby chases Prince Nana up the ramp. Out comes Brian Cage. When Darby comes back into the ring, Swerve kicks him in the side of the head. He goes up top and he hits the Swerve stomp, but he hurts his ankle, so he's not able to get the pinfall immediately, and this gives Darby time to kick out. Aubrey Edwards notices when Cage trips Darby and she kicks them out from the ringside area. Swerve comes in with a steel chair, but Darby's able to kick it out of his hands. Swerve leaves the chair on the outside and he gets caught with a code red when he comes back in. 1-2 kick out, but then Darby Allin is able to put in the Last Supper, 1, 2, 3, the same way he beat Swerve just a couple of months, or just last year in the Owen Hart tournament. He's able to get another win to go 2-0 and 4-4 all time against Swerve Strickland, but 2-0 in AEW. Darby Allin picking up another great win. We'll get into everything that went down post-match, but I thought this was a great opener to open the show. My only nitpick is I don't know if Swerve losing here was necessary. It probably should have been Brian Cage. If you wanted to, do the follow-up from the angle that they did on Rampage, I'd much rather have had Brian Cage, who we're used to at this point being the jobber to the main event stars of AEW. Swerve in his new role as the leader of Mogul Embassy, which I'm not too down on. I'm kind of in the middle. I kind of think it's an all right placement, putting Brian Cage in the heater position, but I don't know if he should have lost in his first match back on Dynamite. So that's my only nitpick. Other than that, I thought the action was really good. I thought the story of the matchup, sort of selling of the ankle, was great. This was a great opener overall. What did you think, Jimmy?
My question back to you would be, did you think Swerve had a chance to win this match?
No.
Okay, well, in your opinion, is fair. I did, because I like Swerve, and he's a great heel. And I figured maybe Dummy's not going to be a dummy, but he said he was. So I'm going to agree with you. Yes, it should be Brian Cage. I thought we weren't going to do let me be positive. Positivity. I'm not going to get started. Wait, what am I supposed to do this in? Negative and positive? Fuck it.
Negative first and then the positive after, so it sounds better.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yes.
Trying to help you. Trying to help. Trying to help. Just trying to help him, folks. He's not used to positivity.
I don't like this. I hate that we book something for ourselves where we show people what we're going to do and then we work our way backwards through it. They've done that several times. And this is, let's say, the third time I remember off the top of my fucking head. Like when Lance Archer showed up to fight Cody. So we already told you what the match is going to be, Lance versus Cody. So then we build this whole tournament just to get to that place when that is silly. Young Bucks and Red Dragon and fucking, I forgot who the other team was. They weren't important. They were the champs, but they weren't important.
Jurassic Express.
Thank you. We fucking said we're going to do this angle, and then we worked our way into it. That's a terrible way to do it. And then here with the 4 pillars. This is a terrible way to do it. All of a sudden, nobody can lose. All of a sudden, they were all amazing. How'd that work out? How did that happen? Oh, my goodness. Shocking. Darby should have lost here. We should have figured out a way to get to the match otherwise. That aside, it was a great match. Outside the foot biting, which is just silly. I love it.
It fits awesome. Darby. It fits Darby.
Yes, biting feet.
Yes.
Why?
He is very scrappy. That's a scrappy move.
Scrappy, absolutely. That'll work better if it was Brian Cage. Fucking Swerve was about your size.
Also true.
Like, what are we doing? Scrappy. He mad. Positivity. Yeah, it was a really good match. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I must say they have great chemistry together. I'm not shocked that the Negro lost them. No. And
after the post match, I wouldn't mind if they run this back, especially if they get back to Seattle, where they're both basically started their careers in. I think this would be like a great maybe world title match, or maybe for a more important, more stakes involved between these two the next time they face.
It's a world title match. What world title? This one?
World title.
The AEW world title?
Yes. Yes. You heard
Darby's
me.
not touching the world. Darby's not touching the world title. And to be completely honest, Swerve has another handicap that will prevent him from winning the world title. So let's be.
What's that handicap, sir? Please tell us that handicap, sir.
He's a Negra, and that's not how that works. I'm sorry.
A Negra.
A Negra. You worked for.
The words and opinions of Jimmy Macram do not necessarily reflect those of True Heel Heat, its viewers, or affiliates.
They brought the brother back. First of all, they banished him to Rampage. Banished.
Banished. Now he's banished.
Like,
now
what
he's
are we doing?
banished, ladies and gentlemen.
How hot was that feud between fucking Swerve and Keith Lee when it first happened?
It was hot.
We wait months for this fucking breakup. They do the breakup. There's a cinder block, and then all of a sudden, to send them Negroes to Friday nights. Like, this is outrageous. Then he comes back, he loses to Darby. Are we fucking serious? Not to mention he's like tertiary on the Negro list. He's behind Ricky, and he's behind Hobbs. Sorry, tertiary. And they ain't winning shit.
Look at this guy with his definition. There you go. There you go.
See what happened to Ricky?
Roxy says, "Damn, Jimmy, love your negative outlook to everything."
It's not negative. I'm just looking at it from a realistic perspective.
Mm-hmm.
That's all.
That's right. All. Mm-hmm. Sounds good. We also got Roxy who says, "Love Darby. I thought it was a great match, and damn, Swerve has some crazy ass moves. That's always when he does that stomp to the person hanging outside the ring. It always looks crazy to me.
It does. It does. I don't get it. I don't get how he doesn't hurt people rather.
ALW saying Darby versus Swerve was a beautiful train wreck. Loved this. These two have great chemistry. Yeah, they've been fighting for a minute now. We got Simeon saying Darby feels like a mix of Robin and Penguin from Batman. This match was a really good opener. I don't know if that was a compliment or not.
I know it was very odd. I guess he's Robin's size and what Penguin's aesthetic. I mean, all right, sure.
Maybe Penguin from Gotham, not Penguin from the actual Batman.
Ooh,
there you go.
Actually, you know what? Oh shit, I can definitely see it now.
Yeah. Frantic Girl says this was a really good match. We got Ace who says it was a great match. Annika says we just got Swerve and Lee out of the nigger hole. If they can't win, don't book the match. Great match, but Swerve needs a win. Yeah, that was kind of that was the only thing I had to nitpick from this match.
It's not a nitpick, it's a fair criticism. Don't be afraid of the woke mob. What was I gonna say? Where's Mogul Affiliates even rank on the fucking AEW heel faction list?
Well, like Mogul Embassy now, I would put them. They're underneath Jericho Appreciation Society.
Yes. BCC.
BCC is at the top, and then JAS, and then I would put Mogul Embassy.
I'm missing one. Shit,
we're missing one, but they're not. I don't think they're more important than
House of Black.
Oh yeah, well, House of Black are kind of tweeners to me because they put them against Eddie. Hey, they're a trio. Put them against them because House of Black will make it work. House of Black make it work.
Oh, the Firm. Thank you, Annika.
Oh, the Firm is definitely beneath Mogul Embassy at this point.
Based on what? TV time?
Based on Stokely not being there right now. I'm just saying. Stokely not there. Mogul Firm, Mogul Embassy done took your spot.
But don't push me. That's Tupac.
He's missed. Shows haven't been the same since he left.
It hasn't. We're not haven't been as high on the show as we were when Stokely went 1-on-1 with Hook.
How many people do you need for a faction? 3? At least 3?
I would say, yeah, 3. 3 is the
fair enough.
necessary.
About to say, because Bullet Club's about to pass them up too.
Get one more member. Negro Buck says, I do agree that I don't think Swerve should have been in there to take a loss. Cage would have been better. We got
Cage
Dolores.
is white. That's how we do things. Come on, man. He's tan. Really? Ain't that fucking tan. That's not how we do things here.
We had to get two Negro.
I'm keeping it a buck. I'm keeping
The words and opinions of Jimmy Macram do not necessarily reflect those of True Heel Heat, its viewers, or affiliates.
I love this. Vince comes back and everybody lets Dummy off the hook. Like he's not a racist, sexist piece of garbage. Well, he's not.
I don't know. I'm not letting him off the hook. I don't let anyone off the hook. I got stuff to say about some other decisions on this show. We got Sibian saying SP3 spot on Penguin from Gotham. There you go. All right. So after the matchup, actually immediately after this, this match went just under 15 minutes, so I got a bunch of time. We get MJF coming out just before the commercial break. When we come back from commercial break, MJF is on the mic and he asks the crowd of Milwaukee to give it up for Darby. He says, "What a great match!" And of course it was great. He remembers Full Gear 2021 and he calls it one of the greatest matches in the history of pro wrestling between himself and Darby Allin. And even though, yes, Darby is a shitty little emo schmuck, he may be one of the greatest he stepped into the ring with. And that's a fact. But it only took 2 simple words for him to defeat Darby Allin. The only 2 words that makes him better than Darby Allin: headlock, takeover. I still remember how great that finish was. So great. He says he knows Darby is stupid, but he must know that he's not on the level of the devil. That needs to be a new catchphrase or a new shirt, please, immediately. Darby asks MJF if he's happy. He says he met MJF 6 years ago, wrestling in front of 30 people, and MJF told him that the moment he made it to TV, all of his problems would wash away. So he's here now, and nothing has changed. He says he's the world champion, and nothing has changed. Darby says he thought the same. He chased material things for a while, and in his first year of AEW, he checked himself into therapy. MJF should look into that, actually, because he did not want to appear to be happy, but dying inside. Therapy taught him that his family and his close ones were what makes him the most happy. So he brought his parents a house, and he helped his dad retire. And he says that Sting is not his dad, despite what MJF always says that Sting is his dad. He says, but he's actually his best friend in this entire company. He says this whole thing is just a 15-minute ride, Max. And he refuses to get off and wonder who all these randoms he let into his personal life. He's not like MJF. He won't lower his morals to be someone in this world. But keep talking, MJF. Keep talking. MJF tells him that Darby, he is an arrogant little boy. He thinks he's special. People have been going through shit to get to the top for years. Tired of his morals. He says morals kill careers, and that's a fact. Stand here like you're some sort of daredevil, but Darby is really just a gutless coward who won't sacrifice what must be sacrificed. MJF is not an idiot. He is aware that he may end up alone on his deathbed, that he might not go to heaven, but he could give a shit. As long as this title comes with him, that's all that matters. This is the difference between him and the other three pillars. He will do whatever it takes, but not Darby. No, he will leave a legacy in this sport, and it will read on MJF's tombstone, the greatest of all time. And on Darby's, all it will say is Darby Allin, Sting's bitch. Well, someone did not like this line, and that someone was the Stinger. Sting comes out and he gives a couple of shouts to the crowd. He circles MJF closely and he says that he just wants to know what all this daddy daycare talk is. It offends him deeply. He doesn't see himself as a daycare kind of guy. He is more of a cheerleader. He pulls out pom-poms and throws them at MJF, tossing it to him. And another. He says, oh, is MJF offended? He'll stop now if MJF promises to stop. Stop talking about this Cody daycare. Oops. I said Cody, didn't I? Truth hurts, don't it, Max? MJF had a cheerleader. MJF had a support system, and Darby did. And so did the young surfer Sting. He had one too. Shout outs to the Nature Boy, Ric Flair. He thanks Nature Boy Ric Flair for putting him on the map. He says, I love you, Nature Boy. He said Sting evolved and turned into a little crow, and that crow turned into a little wolf pack. He says, I love you, Kev. He looks up to the sky and says, I love you, Scott. Obvious by now, he still has a little Joker left in him too, but what he doesn't have is a hunger or a thirst for his world title. He says that Showtime is almost over, but Showtime is just starting for Darby Allin. He says, mark Sting's words, Darby Allin will become AEW's World Heavyweight Champion. It is Showtime. Darby then gets up and he says that this fake plastic world is not taking him alive. He's leaving the same person he came in, and he's leaving with the title. He promises to be the next AEW World Champion. MJF spits in his face and then rolls out with a smirk on his face. This was a fantastic promo exchange. I thought everybody hits the beats very well. This told the story of the history between MJF and Darby, not just in AEW, but even before AEW. Talked about Darby Allin and his real life and his background, his own history. You talked about, Sting and kind of chronologizing Sting's career and how it relates to Darby Allin, and Sting marking the words that Darby Allin's going to make the championship. This is really the just of probably what should be the title program. It shouldn't be the four pillars. It should probably be Darby and MJF, because this was money in every way. I really like the MJF and Jungle Boy promo from a couple of weeks ago, but Darby Allin feels more in a position to be the top contender to me after this promo. What did you think about this exchange?
You say he feels like more of the top contender after this promo? What about before this promo? What about last week? What about
this promo? I'm just saying, this sets him up. This feels like this set him up to be the guy to beat MJF.
Let's not get crazy. All right, negative first.
You're so negative.
I thought you said negative first. I would have lived positive, but all right. This is good. Let's start positive. This is good. I like this promo. I think I can't go love. It's a little too long, but I really like this promo. I do like Darby. I'm turning this off. My point was about Darby is that he was not better than Jungle Boy and Sammy tonight. He's been better than him for forever. It's just what it is. Nothing changed for me at all. I want to see Darby versus MJF. I don't think Darby has any chance of winning a title ever in AEW. Sorry. I don't know. Something bothers me about this. I can't quite put my finger on it because I'm just tired. It was fine.
It might be that. It might be that.
Yeah. You fucking the way you said it, like I'm all over the place. Focus.
Very much.
They fucking had the listed promo. They had listed promo from you again. I'm hearing it again. Like, it doesn't sound that great now that I'm hearing it back. I really liked it in a moment, but maybe I didn't. MJF's great. Darby's great. I would like the Poor Pillars thing if it happened a little more organically, but it's not. It's going to be forced down our fucking throats. That aside, this to me, MJF, and I say MJF came to his own because that feels bold, but this felt like another wrinkle in his character. This willingness to do whatever it takes to reach the top. Like he's the chick who sleeps with Harvey Weinstein. Like just fuck what you talking about. I'm trying to be in this movie.
Oh my god!
I was like, hey, you do. And Darby's won't follow this fucking morals. I did it. I do like Darby. I said it. Yeah, this is fine. I gotta be honest. I don't know what Sting's gonna do. I wish we would get Sting versus MJF. Not the pay-per-view, but on fucking, I don't know. Main event some big Dynamite. We can pretend like that those matters.
I think that they're gonna do this four pillar way match at Double or Nothing. But I think in the future, I've said this since before MJF was world champion. I said this when Kenny Omega was a world champion. I thought the next champions should have been Hangman Adam Page, MJF. I had CM Punk beating MJF, and then I had Darby beating CM Punk. I think Darby is going to be AEW world champion.
Like what do you mean?
I think he should. Right now, after this promo, I feel like he should be the one who eventually dethrones MJF. It needs to be either one of the pillars or AEW original that beats MJF for this championship.
Okay, well, if that's the criteria, then Darby's the only option. I don't know. I don't know. I gotta be honest. I'm not feeling this fall away for the belt. I just don't. Not even a little bit. Sammy bothers me. I don't think Jungle Boy's quite ready for this spot. I think you've sold me on Darby and MJF. I just wish we gave more shit away. Like, why haven't we seen any of the pillars fight yet in this build-up? Like, what are we waiting on exactly?
I think they're waiting for the match to be official, and then we'll probably, because the one matchup, singles matchup we haven't seen between the pillars is Jungle Boy versus Sammy Guevara. We've never seen that matchup. Every other combination, singles wise, we've seen. So I think they're saving that match for when the match is already official, which I think is going to probably be in the next 2 to 3 weeks.
And what's pay-per-view?
May 28th. That's why you know how AEW does. They don't like to put the card out there until like a month out. At least the main event.
Weird.
I know it's very weird. I by this point, with all the wins that Sammy has gotten, he's being Commander and Takeshita. Jungle Boy's undefeated in 2023. Darby just got this big win over Swerve Strickland. He beat Lee Moriarty on AEW Rampage. They should have been like, in that first promo, MJF says, all you guys need to win 5 straight. Just that needs to be his gimmick. If you're going to make it a gimmick, you guys, but all 3 of you have to win 5 straight, and I'll give you all a shot. And then you could have just played this out. They could have done the same things with this promo and everything, but at least we have a layout. I'm not like a lot of the community that, criticize the whole MJF gauntlets to get him a shot. I think it lays everything out and we know what people need before they get a shot at MJF. I like it.
Well, I like that in lieu of an on-screen commissioner figure, especially since Dummy can't act to save his fucking life.
And he doesn't blink whenever he's on screen.
Well, that's the cocaine. That's not his acting abilities. I'm sorry. Not knocking cocaine, by the way. Kids don't do cocaine, but if you are an adult who does it, more power to you. Fuck, I took a straight up thinking about cocaine.
Yes, no, I knew you were gonna do that.
I can't help myself. Oh, MJF being the smart heel that he is, this should be an elimination match, right? I can't see MJF signing up for a match in which he can not be pinned and lose the belt. It's a wild idea.
I would, if I'm MJF and he doesn't try to get it to be, he should at least try to make it an elimination matchup more than just, even if they don't want to go that route, they just want one fall to a finish. If MJF is going to be the one who lays this out or makes this matchup, or it just has to be just made without him like laying out the gauntlet for it.
Sounds like a plan.
We got a super chat donation from Roxy. Thank you so much for that super chat donation. We appreciate it. And she asks, who do you guys see as the number one pillar opponent for MJF? I think we're both in agreement. It's Darby.
It's Darby. I think Jungle Boy has the potential to equal Darby, but he ain't there yet.
Jungle Boy has closed the gap through the Christian feud.
See. Mainly because fucking JR put in 2 years of work calling him Jack Perry.
Salute to you. Salute to you, JR. Roxy also saying herself that she loves Jungle Boy, but I think it's Darby. I think if Sammy never had the TNT feud with Scorpio Sky, I think that he would be closer to the other two pillars that are contenders.
Oh, that's a good point. That feud was horrific.
Coming out of the Cody ladder match, I felt like he was on his way, and then that feud with Scorpio Sky killed that.
Well, because wasn't that the same time where they put him and Tay together on screen?
Yes, also true.
I kept seeing the commercials for that. She was the most over baby face of the company, and then she got with me, and well, yeah, I don't know what to tell you. Dummy thought you guys were adorable because what the fuck
that's a storyline.
That's what's gonna like him.
That's a storyline on the reality show, is that her career has been stunted by being associated by Sammy on camera.
Good. That's what you get for making terrible decisions in life and for fucking thinking Dummy knows anything about anything. I still don't get it. He was at their wedding. This is the picture you guys show of the three of them dancing together. It's so weird. Those two are so weird. No, it's not their fault. They're kids. They have a good time. But this Dummy's fault. You're a 40-year-old man. Like, the fuck are you doing? These kids are so sexy. Yes, queen. Yes. What the fuck's wrong with you, sir? Do some fucking work. Get the fuck out of here. Too busy smoking pot and Big Swole. Like, what the fuck are we doing? You're running a company. You're not Shawn Michaels. You bum. Get to work.
Didn't even give her 5 on it. We got in the chat here, Negro Bug saying, I definitely feel that Darby will be AEW World Champion one day. He's the guy I want to beat Max down the line. And I think Negro Buck used the verbiage that EBB should have made. He says, I think it will be, in my opinion, okay, he put in my opinion, Hangman when the contract starts up. You just really want it to be Hangman more than you think it's going to be Hangman.
Yes. It's not Hangman. It's over Hangman. They told you what they think of Hangman. He likes you as a friend.
There you go. There's the King of the North. I was wondering when he was going to show up. King of the North here saying, dude said a 40-year-old man can't go dance at a wedding.
Now, you speak fluent Jimmy. Is that anything close to what the fuck I said?
No, it wasn't.
Ain't close.
It was not.
Enough of these people. These people, this person. Like, fucking maniac. He's trolling me, and I fall for it every time.
No, there's a troll saying that they're Jimmy Macram. Jimmy Macram, lefty one. I don't know. No, Jimmy Macram is on screen, guy. EBB said Sting was like, "Don't you talk to my bitch like that." Well, damn, Jesus.
I will admit, when he first came out, that was a bad look. I was just like, really? Like, really? This is isn't MJF's whole point? And then here you come, his dad or his pimp, whatever. It just feels gross.
Frantic Rail says right now Sammy got 2 wins. I think Darby has 3 wins and Jack Perry has 1 or 2 wins so far. But SP3 is right. They need to get 5 wins. I only said 5 wins because that's what he put on Danielson. He said Danielson needed to win 5 straight.
You know what needs to happen? We need a commissioner figure to just come on and make the fucking match. So we can skip all this fucking nonsense.
Nigel. He was great.
Nigel.
Matchmaker.
So many guys they have
Matchmaker
over there.
and ROH.
Oh, that works. Nigel, Sting's not busy. Arn Anderson, something. Jesus.
Sting has a. I always thought Sting should have been like an authority figure in TNA, so I wouldn't mind that.
I know. Thank God Cash isn't here because that was what you sold him on when Sting first came. Like, I think Sting's a big commissioner figure. He was like, "Oh my God, I don't hate that." And here we are.
Hey, he's done well. You even said it before. He's done a lot more than we all thought he would when he first debuted.
That is the truth.
We got King of the North says that's peak Jimmy hater mode right there.
No longer acknowledging resistance. I'm not going to be trolled anymore.
I remember when EBB used to troll you, but now he's on your side. He says Jimmy needs to be a heel manager. And look at this. You got people asking for cash. Cash works all the time, man. He usually works when we're doing this show. But we're gonna do something. We got to bring Cash back on the channel in some form. Maybe we'll start reviewing Rampage.
Yeah, you guys can watch Rampage.
No, we're gonna watch the Saturday show. That was their solution for CM Punk, because he said he's willing to come back. He wants to come back. He's willing to work with the Elite, and if the Elite don't want to work with him, then he's willing to stay separate from the Elite. And they said in that Fightful report that it's possible that with the new Saturday show they can do a separation of the rosters. So maybe we could do the Saturday show.
The roster's not good enough to separate the rosters. They're in a weird spot. They have probably too much talent for one roster, but they don't have nearly enough for 2. No. Fucks no. Oh, my God. Just bring CM Punk back. Tell them to stop acting like bitches. I think Omega would be willing to do it. I don't know.
Yeah, I definitely think it's the Bucks. I don't think it's Omega. I think that Kenny's just like, okay, I'll just go with the majority. I just want to go over it. I want to make some money. I'll be down for me and Punk, maybe.
That works. That's the bigger match anyway. All you people want the FTR match is so weird. Like, that's not a bigger match. I'm sorry, it just isn't. Omega and Punk is not as big. Omega and Punk is bigger than Punk and FTR versus the Elite. Fucking 6-man tag ass main event. If you don't get the fuck out of my face.
We got ABB says, nah, make Cash review every Battle of the Belts. I don't even think he knows they exist, like, much of people. We got Frantic Girl says, yeah, we miss Cash. He was so funny. There you go. And then we said, Negro Buck says Cash is too busy with all those Bronson Reed fan club meetings.
That was the wildest take he's ever had. He's had some wild takes.
That was one of the funniest moments when he was genuinely upset that Hangman Adam Page returned in the casino ladder match. It was like, oh no, I thought it was gonna be Bronson Reed.
I was like, I don't know who it's gonna be, but I bet you good money it's not Bronson Reed, whoever the fuck that is. I didn't know at the time.
He was so upset. I've never seen him so upset for something that just had zero. Well, no. Okay. I mean, let me stop myself before finishing. I've seen him get upset about stuff that wasn't logical a lot, actually. But yes. We got King of the North who says, keep that war criminal CM Punk off my favorite wrestling show. Come on. Gotta make it better. Annika says, just put Rampage on Saturday. I don't know. That didn't work out well every time they do that. So
you had to get another hour. How desperate is TBS or TNT or whatever the fuck this channel gonna be on?
They're happy with what they deliver. So
that's what I'm saying. That's sad, ain't it? Motherfuckers get 500 grand for Rampage. Motherfuckers are throwing a party.
Hey, they happy with that. So we got a question from Alan Banky. Says, hey, SP3 and Jimmy, who do you guys think will be Tony's first Black World Champion?
Be nice. How do I put this nicely? Who's the brother that he's like a sergeant or something? Captain Sean Dean? His son. First AEW World Champion in 2038 or whatever the fuck it is. Sorry.
I'm gonna say Jade Cargill.
You know what he means. Don't do that, Skip Bayless.
He didn't say male. He said first Black World Champion. That's
Hilarious.
Jade Cargill. Jade Cargill, of course. That's the black woman that gets the best push. I'm just saying. And he does. I think he really does like Swerve. From everything I hear about what's going on backstage, he does like Swerve.
He likes Swerve's celebrities. He likes Swerve's fucking his connections to like the real world. Swerve lives a life he wants to live, but is too scared.
Anyway, next up we had the TNT Championship up for grabs. Before the matchup, Powerhouse Hobbs is showed with his new car gifted to him by QT Marshall. He tosses the keys to some stagehand and tells him it'd be a shame if anything happened to the car. Oh, I was like, I wonder what's gonna happen. This match did not go long. He faced Silas Young in his hometown of Milwaukee, and this thing went 43 seconds. He hits the spine buster, hits the town business. 1, 2, 3. Powerhouse Hobbs as another successful title defense to his TNT Championship run, and it looks like he's about to powerbomb Silas Young to continue the beatdown on the outside. When we head to the back to the parking lot where Wardlow has returned, he tells the stagehand to run, and he begins demolishing the car after going all Super Saiyan on the car. He pulls up to a nearby forklift. How convenient that was there. And he stabs the forklift, stabs the car and flips it on his back to the ramp. I love this spot where he let the forklift just drive by itself into the car. That was a nice ending. As Hobbs is about to powerbomb Silas Young off the stage through some tables, Wardlow eventually does come out. They brawl for a bit until officials and QT separate them. Wardlow gets his hands on Aaron Solo, who was the man that stole his identity and all his gear in the TNT Championship, and he delivers a ugly. I felt bad for Aaron Solo. I don't even really care about the brother, but that power bomb where his head hit the other table and he went through the first one. Ouch. But Wardlow is back. Wardlow is back here. I mean, he's back. Wardlow versus Powerhouse Hobbs for the TNT Championship was set up later in the night for next week. What did you think about the matchup and the post-match here?
You remember how fucking over Wardlow was? Like, you remember? Like, it was. I'm not gonna say he's the most over guy in the company because Punk was there and MJF was always insanely over. But maybe right after that, him putting the ring down in that match between Punk and MJF is one of the loudest things I've ever heard for anything non-violent.
One of the greatest moments in AEW history.
It's so good. You know what? I'm agree with you. Yes. Well, to be fair, he's had a rough go of it. He lost Bailey, whatever that was. Look at this AEW thing ain't taking off. And now he's getting hit. Oh, you poor bastard. You ever seen Seinfeld? He needs to pull a George Costanza and just do the opposite of everything he's been doing. Whatever choice you make, just get the opposite of that. It can't work out worse than it has. This was fine. This was fun. Again, this feels like a spur of the moment thing. I don't know why we didn't spend some time building this up, like have Hobbs have the car for a week or two, a few weeks, anything.
At least more than a week. I think it was a total of 3 days because he just got it on Rampage, and then
we have this fucking, and it's like it's not like it's the opening of the show and Hobbs shows up in this car. It's right before the car gets fucked up. It's shocking.
You did not give us time to even care about this car.
And then the subtlety of a fucking sledgehammer. I hope nothing happens to that fucking car. It's like, what the fuck are you guys even doing? It bothers me. So I wonder if you would know better than I wonder if we don't spend enough time with the script beforehand. It feels like we just hand the script before the show happens. Or it's so baffling to me that everything they do feels like a first draft.
Yeah.
And I hate it. The fucking forklift just sitting. Now listen, it's not impossible for a forklift to be sitting randomly somewhere. I remember I went to go get something from Dunkin' Donuts. There was a forklift across the street, just sitting like a regular car, just sitting there. So it's not impossible. I would say it's rather convenient. Whatever. The structure was fun. I'm glad Wardlow's back. I assume Wardlow's gonna win the belt. Like whatever. Yawn.
And yeah, I do agree with Negro Buck here saying this match is happening way too soon. Yeah, I thought that this would be I thought they were holding Wardlow off from coming back until they can do the match at Double or Nothing, but it's happening next week. I just hope they don't put the title back on Wardlow. Please don't put the title back on Wardlow.
You don't think so, huh?
I don't want them to, but it's AEW. How they toss around this TNT title, I would not be surprised.
I've have solid odds on Wardlow winning the belt. I don't think Hobbs is his fault, but I don't think he's had the greatest of runs. Not his fault. He grabbed QT. By the way, that sign that somebody had, I forgot what it said about QTV. It was fucking great.
It's bad creative, yeah.
Yeah. Thank you, sir.
It's a bad idea from stupid creative, yeah.
Yes. Even the way you put it, it's great.
Because that was the line Jericho said on like the second episode of Dynamite when he brought up Inner Circle.
I know I shouldn't give wrestling fans any credit. Of course, Chris Jericho came with the clever line.
We got Nitro Dust with a super chat donation, and thank you for the reminder. Don't forget Nyla Rose is black. Yes, Nyla Rose, the second ever AEW Women's World Champion.
Nyla Rose should be with Jade Cargill being fucking hilarious. Because she is objectively hilarious.
That's arguably my favorite Jade feud was Nyla Rose when she stole the belt from her and stuff.
And just was hilarious for a month. She is perfect.
That is still my favorite Jade Cargill feud. Even more than like Athena, anything she did before she got the TBS title, that's the best. The best.
I know a lot of people hated it. I didn't. I thought it was fucking great at all times.
I loved it. And remember, going into Full Gear, we were very high on the women's division. We was like, they had 3 solid feuds between Saraya and Britt, Jamie and Tony, and then Nyla and Jade. That was the highest we ever were on the women's division.
And now here we are.
We'll get into that. We got Negro Buck saying that's a really good point, Jimmy. We also got,
talking about, but I'm sure you're right.
He's right. Ace says Wardlow ain't over anymore. Yeah, not very good. Not very good. No, not good at all. We also got Caden saying that was the best Jade feud. Nothing comes close. Yeah, I can't think of it a second place, honestly. I can't. I really can't. A Red Velvet at the start. Initially, the initial Red Velvet feud.
I'll tell you why. No. Because I remember.
I know you're thinking. I know what you're thinking of. The Britt Baker and talk. The Britt Baker talk show. The waiting room.
Fucking Jade, 5'9", 160-pound Cargill, exchanging right hands with 5'2", 110-pound Red Velvet. That's how that works. Absolutely.
Thank you for the super chat donation, Nitro Dust, and for that reminder about Nyla Rose. Nyla Rose needs more TV time. We want Nyla back on TV, please, and without Vicky, since Vicky. Anywho, seriously, let's talk about. They did a quick little vignette with the newest signee for AEW. Switchblade Jay White is here. He talks about the beatdown of Ricky Starks last week, and Juice Robinson was talking for some reason, but that doesn't matter. Switchblade Jay White is the one that really matters here. He says that they are starting the greatest era in Bullet Club history, and they are going to be referred to as Bullet Club Gold.
Fucking NWO 2000 ass horseshit.
No, it's NWO Wolfpack. It's the
No,
Wolfpack.
it is not.
It's the
No,
Wolfpack.
it is not.
The Wolfpack.
This
They need to
Bullet Club
come
thing
out
is-
with Bullet Club Mass Destruction. That's the
This thing's been dead on the vine for a while. I will say I did like the promo though. I like Juice much more as a sidekick.
yeah.
And I like his future ad libs. It's not bad.
And I think this firmly established, because I know we had people in the chat being critical, saying that Switchblade looked like a sidekick to him. No, definitely they did establish that Juice is the sidekick. He even called him King Switch. You can't be the leader if you're calling someone else king.
It is a little weird. King Switch by the way is a great nickname. I can't believe how much
I just need him to cut his promo, his catalyst of AEW promo about how him beating Kenny Omega is the whole reason Kenny left New Japan and created AEW. So he is the creator of AEW by equation.
It's over. It's over. Jay White is now firmly established in the Hangman heel position, where you're just one of the guys. You're important enough, but you're not. I'm sorry. He doesn't feel like as big of a deal as he did before he signed, which is a wild take. But think about it.
That is wild. That is a wild take.
Think about it for a
don't
second.
agree.
Think
I
about-
don't agree
think
at
about-
all.
Yes, you do. Think about it.
No, I don't. No, I don't.
Think about it. Because you're not thinking about it. You're being very whatever. Listen to me. Jay White, before he signed, felt like a gigantic. People were talking about him debuting at WrestleMania. That is, first of all,
I was not one of those people.
Anybody thought nobody. I don't think anybody with any common sense thought he was that over. But you would at least expect him to get a top slot in AEW right away. Right away, he's a big fucking deal. And then you debut him interfering for Juice. Firstly, against Ricky Starks. I don't know why am I defending this take. It's kind of obvious. It's self-evident.
It's
ridiculous.
not. It's not.
Just ridiculous.
Ricky Starks one of the top baby faces.
No, he's not.
Yes, he is.
First of all, he already has a handicap. We know that.
Why do we need multiple references to Negroes not getting it?
If you guys would just fucking understand that beforehand, I wouldn't have to let you know.
We got Hector saying, didn't they kick Jay out of Bullet Club? No, they did not. It was one guy. It was David Finlay, and that was because Gato got into his ear. Gato was a little salty that Switchblade dumped him. That's the Bullet Club did not make that decision. It wasn't like when they kicked out AJ Styles from the group and everybody joined in with the Elite and beat him down. It was totally different there. We also got here.
Oh my God, check the bums out.
Simeon saying the Bang Bang Gang. This felt like an NWO 1996 vignette spoof. The Bang Bang Gang did make me laugh.
Wild, the Bang Bang Gang. Aren't you guys tough? What the fuck are you babbling about?
The Bang Bang Gang. That made me laugh. Negro Buck saying King Switch baby, the man who created AEW. We got Caden who says they called him the catalyst on commentary. We also got Negro Buck who says that's a very wild take. We got Hector who says that they dropped the ball with Jay White. How can they drop the ball? It's literally been a week. I love that. Hector didn't even know if they kicked out Jay White or not. So I don't think that's the person you want backing him up.
It's not just Hector. EB agrees too.
Yeah, EBB. He's had such great takes. Great takes. EBB says, I really hoped he started off as a massive deal, in my opinion. I actually agree, in my opinion. It's you know when a person says, in my opinion, more than once in a sentence, it's probably a shit opinion. In my opinion, this start doesn't match up to the hype that Jay White deserves personally.
No, Jay White should have came in as the top guy, at least for a month. He should came in as a fucking tornado. He came in against Ricky Starks with Juice. Are you fucking serious? Why are we pretending like that isn't lower than where you thought he'd be coming in at? It's the truth.
Frantic World mentioning that they did in the video package, they did show Cody and AJ in the Bullet Club promo video. So
thank you, Annika. I don't know about that last
part. Annika, the same person who said FTR was leaving to go to WWE.
Everybody.
Just saying.
If you don't agree with Sid, he throws you right down the bus.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
And he throws you right out the window.
We got 39 people buried. I just buried 3. That's like 1/13. of the people
Yes,
that
anybody who doesn't agree. Yeah, all the people who don't agree, right out the fucking
no,
window.
if you agree with Jimmy, that's how I bury you.
Yeah,
But yes.
see?
Next, we had the AEW International Championship up for grabs. We had Buddy Matthews of the House of Black, 1/3 of the AEW World Trios Champions, getting his shot at Orange Cassidy for the International Championship here. Orange Cassidy coming in with 16 successful title defenses of the International / AEW All Atlantic Championship. And I really enjoyed this matchup because it really told a good story and probably the most selling we've seen from Orange Cassidy. He came in with an injured hand after giving the orange punch to Buddy Matthews when he was wearing the mask a couple of weeks back on Rampage, and Buddy Matthews made that the focus. Orange very early on hits the orange punch, but he's not able to capitalize because he's selling the hand, and then Buddy then stomps on the hand when they're trying to rewrap it. He then puts the hand into the turnbuckle and turns it. Orange is selling the hand very, very well throughout this match. They brawl onto the apron. Buddy Matthews looks like he has the advantage with a big boot and then a pump knee, but Orange is able to reverse and hit the beach break. Orange hits I think he's able to hit the orange punch once again, but he only gets a 2 count because it doesn't have the same effect. Buddy tells him to punch him again. He catches the punch, and then Buddy is able to hit a curb stomp, but that only gets him a 2. So he finally gets the win, Orange Cassidy, here by pulling out the mouse trap, which I haven't seen in a while from him. Pulls out the mouse trap. 1, 2, 3. Orange Cassidy successfully defends the AEW International Championship. This got a bunch of time, went over 14 minutes, and I felt like this was one of his stronger title defenses. His 17th successful defense of the AEW International Championship, and arguably probably the best one because, like I said, the psychology was really strong, told a great story, and Orange Cassidy is on a roll who just constantly delivers very good quality, good to great matches on TV every week with this championship. So I enjoyed this one. What did you think?
Great match. I love this match. I was disappointed in the finish. That's because I thought they had done it perfectly with Buddy should win over. But we're telling a longer story, apparently. Orange Cassidy's just wearing down by the week. Fair enough. I'm not entirely sure why he wouldn't just, I don't know, stop. But hey, whatever. It was a great match. I thoroughly enjoyed it. It's Buddy's best match. And Orange Cassidy was great here. Anytime you stomp on a motherfucker's hand, you've got a fan in me. Awesome.
Yeah, I did enjoy it because it was when they were trying to rewrap his hand, and then he stomps it. That was great. I love that.
Time out in the middle of a match. Fuck that.
I thought this match was great. I'm just gonna say, yeah, I think it was probably the best international championship. Well, best international / All Atlantic Championship match for Orange Cassidy so far. And this was finally Buddy Matthews really shining in a singles position. He shined in that matchup against Darby for the TNT Championship, but this felt even better for him in where he really showed a lot of his offense and what he can do in the ring.
He's not a tall man, but he is a rather large man. Holy shit.
Brolic motherfucker.
Fucking Orange Cassidy, he caught him. He didn't even flinch. He didn't have to gather himself. Just boop.
Oh, when he caught him with the suplex spot, that was smooth.
Mm-hmm.
That was smooth. I was like, this man showing why people were high on him. He's not coming off. He doesn't come off as much as Australian Kenny Omega as he did when he was in WWE. This match kind of showed him as him, Buddy Matthews, more than him doing cosplay Kenny Omega stuff.
Did you say so?
Just saying. I do agree with Simeon here. He says Julia just standing there enjoying Orange Cassidy getting his hand tortured was gold. Julia is the best at the being behind someone in camera shot. She did that at Revolution, did that on Rampage going into Battle of the Belts on Friday, and then here on the money.
She is going to be a goddamn star. I saw her entrance on Friday. The match was solid, and she has great facial expressions. Not long before she breaks up with what's his name? Dante? She with Dante? Who's she with?
Lee Johnson.
She with the other brother. That's not.
You talk about not knowing Negroes. You
I don't listen. Light skinned Negroes mean nothing to me.
The views and opinions of Jimmy Macram do not necessarily reflect those of True Heel Heat, its viewers, or affiliates.
I only care about them based on their percentage of blackness. Lee Johnson, I care about him like 42%. Dante, like what, 17%.
The words and opinions of Jimmy Macram do not necessarily reflect those of True Heel Heat, its viewers, or affiliates.
My mom would kill me if she's seen this. Mom, I'm joking.
Wild.
I'm joking. You know, we struggle to do this so you can vote, but Mom, I'm joking.
Mom, roll it over on her bed. Come on, what are we doing here?
What I'm saying is, she can't keep looking at Lee Johnson the same as she used to, right? Like, this man has made no progress at all, and she is quickly climbing the ladder. Like, all of a sudden, it's okay when he's a young guy who does the same thing you do, but now I'm a star and you're just some guy. You're about to be Aaron Solo in a second. Fucking Bailey can't look at this guy like he's important. Look at him. Ugh.
We got Hector who says, who do you guys think should beat Orange for the title? I got Takeshna. I was saying before this matchup that I thought he should beat Buddy, and I think eventually I would love to see 2-belt Malachi.
That could be fun. That'd probably be my number one pick, Malachi Black. The number 2 pick would probably be Takeshna with Don Callis, but that feels like it's a way off. Yeah, you know what? I'm going Malachi Black. House of Black, please.
I think it's there. Caden saying, I love the story of every week he's getting more and more worn down till he has to get super desperate with the mousetrap. My guess he's at the end of this reign. This is like a more drawn out version of the story they told with Darby's TNT championship run.
Yes, this is a properly done version of that.
Yeah. Properly done. I love that.
Jesus.
And I did really like when he hit those 3 consecutive DDTs in different forms. He did like a tornado, then he did a suicide a tope into the DDT, and then the top rope diving DDT. Only got a 2 though.
Where do we think the Orange? But we ask this every week. Where do we think the International Championship ranks against the TNT title? Is it more important? I was gonna say more important, but then we got Wardlow versus Hobbs this week.
Yeah. I think that's going to be in a good position on next week's show. But yeah, I mean, Hobbs, most of his title defenses has happened on Rampage, where they have consistently given the International Championship the Dynamites.
Fair point. That's my exact point. By the way, you just remind me how many defenses Hobbs has had. Yeah, it's over. It's over. He did the same thing with Darby.
He's had 3 with
Darby. Like, yeah. Get this shit out the way so we can fucking move.
So it looks like if you look at it from a year from now, it looks like he had a good reign.
He the title 3 times. God damn.
He beat Lucha Bros. He beat Phoenix and Penta. Then he beat Silas in 40 seconds, and then he just ran into a buzzsaw.
It's over. That's a shame.
Oh man, we got Annika says Buddy still doesn't feel like he's been unleashed. I want him to have a match with like him versus Malachi in WWE. I don't even fucking remember that match.
Well,
that was like 4 years ago though, to be fair. So not my
you remember every match Kenny Omega ever had, but you remember a fucking match 4 years ago. Knock it off. Anyway,
I remember Buddy's match with Mustafa Ali. That's his best matchup in WWE. That's one I will never forget.
I gotta be honest. Only match I remember off the top of my fucking head. I'll get started. It's just
hey, you watched Kenny and Okada won.
I did. It was a great fucking match. Kenny Omega's very good when he's in Japan. Shocking.
He's like, I've seen 2. He's like, I'm nearly giving him 5 stars.
What'd you give that match, by the way? The first one.
What?
Omega
first one?
Okada.
First one was 5. I gave 5 stars.
Not fair enough. What was I gonna say? Well, you did the next one better.
Yeah, the 60-minute time limit draw I felt was better.
Yeah, I was about to text you. Thanks for the spoiler, by the way. The 60-minute time limit draw. Thank you.
Hey, you asked me how long which one was the 60? You literally asked me that. Which one was?
I know. I remember hearing one was an hour and change. I thought. Oh well.
One of them is. I won't tell you which one since you're calling me out. I'm telling you spoilers.
It has to be the Iron Man. I'm fucking draw. I would imagine. Fuck. What was I say? Oh right, my buddy. The only way that happens if he's higher up the card. That's when you get to wrestle fucking Hangman and Dragon and them. Like, it's not happening. Sorry, sir.
And then you could show more. And when they finally give us Kenny versus Buddy, I think that's when you could say he's been fully unleashed, as you could say. So we got Simeon who says, Jimmy, you just love manifesting guys losing their dream girls.
I do not. I just know how the world works. It's not anybody's fault. It just is.
Hector saying Jimmy out here with a wild promo. We got ALW saying Jimmy said just set the struggle back 100 years. I'm sorry, a Jewish man should not be telling a black man that he set.
Rhea's. Oh yeah, Rhea is with Buddy Matthews, right?
Yeah.
He better get his shit together.
he had to sit there like a cuckold at the Hall of Fame when she was with Dom.
Yeah, I saw. That was awkward. I know it's all fun, but I gotta be honest. If you're Buddy Matthews, does Rhea give you the heads up? If she gives you the heads up, do you still go? I don't.
I'm like, nah, I'm good. I just stay at home. But Malachi was going to be with his wife, so he was like, man, I'll go with you. Solidarity.
Well, yeah, because Malachi is bigger than his wife. Like, I'm a star and she's not. Buddy doesn't have that option, sir. You better keep your ass at home.
Hey, she's gonna be a star. They're going to Puerto Rico. They're gonna make her a star for a night. She'll probably get the shot at Rhea.
Unless Vince is there, then you're losing.
Yeah. Well, she's definitely gonna lose either way. EVB saying Buddy versus Mustafa with the steel steps. That was fantastic. The greatest 205 live match ever. I also do remember that one too, Ace. The one with Roman Reigns, because he did that awesome spot where he did like a flip out of the spear. I remember that. That was great.
That sounds dope.
Yeah. Definitely some Buddy Matthews matches to watch in WWE. EBB saying in WWE, I thought Buddy versus Roman was his breakout on SmackDown. Roman said sold a lot for him. I remember that as a good matchup. Yeah, I remember that match and then him beating Bryan Danielson. That was the two matches on the main roster. Jesus. The whole now that Annika reminded me, I do remember they did a series of matches with Malachi and Buddy, but I remember the matches when he actually versed, guys they were pushing more than I remember the match between two guys they were never gonna push.
Fair enough. He's so weird looking. Not weird looking in general. He's the most normal looking in the House of Black, but he looks very out of place in the House of Black.
He does. So he does. Especially even with Julia. Julia looks more into the House of Black than him. But let's continue on, as one of our favorite parts of the show ongoing is the Christian vignette. As Christian is in his dark room with the red light, Luchasaurus comes in and he says, "Some things have changed." Any comments?
No. Give Christian a microphone and give him time, you cunts. The fuck?
He's bringing back the Brood. He's bringing back the Brood.
Oh,
His contract's about to expire. I'm just saying. And WrestleVotes just did a whole articles talking about how WWE doesn't think Edge is leaving. And this is the same WrestleVotes that reported WWE really believes Jay White is coming into the company. So I'm just saying.
To be fair, I don't know. I can't see Edge coming to AEW. It's a hard sell for me.
I don't know what his name would be. Is it just gonna be Adam
Copeland? Fucking Christian's brother. I'm like,
Adam Cage.
It'd be some fucking, well, that's Christian. He'd be like fucking heretic or something awful like that. Heathen Cage.
That actually sounds good though. Heathen Cage.
That's pretty clear.
Heathen Cage. Come on.
I'm not mad at that.
We head backstage to hear from to see Orange Cassidy still selling the hand with the ice pack, and Trent and Chuck T talk about his success and talk about wanting to add some more championship gold to their group, and they challenge Aussie Open for the IWGP World Tag Team Championships this Friday on AEW Rampage. Orange can't put his hand into the hand pile, so Renee replaces him, and they say on three and just lift their hands up. Remember He was like, "What happened to the count of 3?" This was unintentionally very funny.
That was cute. I didn't hate it as much as I should have on paper. Listen, you know I'm over best friends. I have been for a while. I'm
Hey,
sure
Aussie Open had the second best tag team match I've seen this year on last Saturday. That was on the same show, the same show I sent you with the Mercedes match. That was the best match of the night, the Aussie Open match.
The Aussie Open match was the best match of the night?
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. But like, so what?
Unless it's Mercedes, so what? I don't care about those.
I know. I know we're all spoiled, myself included. But there's so much good wrestling on. I mean, kind of blessed with Vince coming back, but there's so much good wrestling on every show that a good match isn't as impressive as it was.
Great match. It was a great match.
20 years ago. Even a great match isn't impressive as it was. How many great? We saw 2 great matches on this card.
It was, yeah,
for free.
I was like, I gotta get a New Japan subscription and shit. Come on.
To watch Aussie Open? You must be out your mind.
Aussie.
I mean, I feel that way, Roxy. Like, just EB's hilarious. I feel that way. The kind of same way I felt about Sasha Banks. Like, I don't see it.
Yeah, same thing I feel about Drew McIntyre and Seth Rollins. So, I think it's less likely Drew McIntyre and Seth Rollins leave WWE than Edge. I think Edge is at the point where he's either gonna retire a WWE store, or he may just say, you know what, my best friend's there. 2 guys I've been wanting to wrestle who are not coming here anytime soon, and FDR are there. Let me just do. I'm gonna sign a 5-match contract. He gonna ask Kurt, how much did they offer you for that 5-match contract? All right, I'll take that, Tony.
I'm not mad at that, but like, I wish Seth would leave because he seems he's so good, right? Like, shockingly good that I don't think he'll be happy unless he gets a run with the top spot. And that's not going to happen without him leaving and coming back. Sorry. It's not how wrestling works. It's like when you were at an actual job, when you're the hardest worker there, they just expect you to keep doing what you're doing. You don't get a promotion. No, motherfucker, just keep working for the same shit pay.
I said it yesterday on Believe in Pro Wrestling. Like, there was a great article by Phil Lindsay of Grab City talking about, he says, oh, WWE has a Seth Rollins problem. And I was like, no, I felt the same way for the last 4 years. Seth Rollins has a WWE problem. He will always, the best he can do is be number 2. Randy Orton went through it with John Cena. CM Punk went through it with John Cena. Bryan Danielson was the best wrestler they had for nearly a decade. He can only be number 2. Dean Ambrose wrestled all those matches, had to come out with a hot dog truck. He would only be as best number 3 for him. And so like all these people, they had to leave to get elevated in their careers. That's what you have to do, but I don't think Seth is willing to do that. He's got a Starbucks in his hometown. He's got a training facility. His wife works there, and she's got a Hollywood career waiting for her when she's done. He has no reason. He has no incentive other than being frustrated with this spot for him to leave.
That's kind of perfectly put. How old Seth? 36, 37?
36, 37, yeah.
Okay. Like, I know he probably grew up fucking Attitude Era stuff where there was 2 top guys. But you gotta remember, they weren't up against each other. Austin was gone for like a year. Rock was gone shortly after that. Usually, outside of a year and a half, there's one guy, and that's it. Sorry. And Roman's the guy. I don't know what to tell you. And
you're not even number 2. You're number 3 behind Cody. Shit.
He beat him 3 times.
I feel bad for
He beat him 3 times. That shit is wild.
I think it was Sex Castle something. It was awful. It was an awful name.
Yes.
Yeah.
Fuck. I forget it. Yeah, but it was
Sex Castle or something like that. But yes, we come back live to the arena where Ethan Page is in the ring, and he wants answers from Matt Hardy for his betrayal last week. Out comes Matt Hardy along with Isaiah Cassidy, and Cassidy says that Page played himself. He says Matt says that he did manipulate Paige and that he's a huge ass for it, and he treated Matt and Private Party like trash, so he forced Paige into signing a contract that said if Hook defeated him, Matt and Cassidy were no longer under the rule of the firm. He also gets to choose their next match, and the stipulation is if they win, they will no longer have a contract to the firm. What is the fucking difference? That was very confusing. Paige says there is more than just Paige and Stokely in the firm, though, and this leads to Big Bill and Lee Moriarty attacking Cassidy and Hardy from behind. Bill sends Matt into a powerbomb position, and out comes Hook, but the numbers get to Hook as well until the Hardy Boys music plays, and out comes Jeffro Nero Hardy, making his return to AEW for the first time since last June. He comes out to a huge pop from this Milwaukee crowd. The Milwaukee crowd responded to Jeff Hardy, not just everything else on the show. Chair shots with his own personal painted chair. I love that touch. That was awesome. That felt like Boss Mahoney from ECW fame. He had his own personal painted t-shirt. He tosses the chair at Lee, and then he hits the twist of fate. He then goes to the top and he hits the big swanton bomb. Jeff is back, a huge pop. The fans were going wild. He hugs it out with Matt Hardy, and it was all, smiles and sunshine, but I don't know. I mean, okay, I understand that Tony Khan, this is his first time dealing with Jeff Hardy. This ain't like WWE, who gave him chance after chance after chance. This is the first chance that he's outside of signing him initially. This is the first chance he's giving Jeff Hardy after it didn't turn out well. I'm just hoping he doesn't fuck this one up. Please don't fuck this one up. Please either stay sober or don't drive. It's either one or the other. Pick one struggle, Jeff, Nero, brother Nero. Pick one struggle. Just one or the other. Jimmy, what did you think about this return of Jeff Hardy here?
This was fine. The actual return, like the way it was done in the wrestling context, was fine for what it was. Probably wouldn't have had it on this show since we see this whole thing several times. But it was fine. As for Jeff, I'm glad he's back. I'm glad he's healthy. How do I say this without offending anybody? People love Jeff. It'd be easier if it was fucking Rick Steiner.
Yeah, if it was Rick Steiner, I mean, like, nope, no, give him another chance.
Right. But listen, feel free. Give him as many chances as you like. However, one would have to agree that past behavior is indicative of future trends. And Jeff has not been on the straight and narrow for 15 years. How long are we talking? It's been a while. I hope he keeps it together. What evidence do we have that it's going to be okay?
Not much evidence that can tell us that this is going to be the time that it all works out, that it's all going to be fine. I'm glad to see him back. Like you said, I'm glad to see him healthy. I just want him to stay on the straight and narrow. And I can't just say, oh no, he's got his brother there now, because he had his brother there the last time and it still didn't work out for him. But hey, we got Negro Buck saying, I'm so conflicted on this return. This guy was my hero growing up, but I just don't know if he can keep it together, hoping for the best.
Same. Not my hero, obviously. Really? Jeff Hardy? How old are you?
He's young. He's in his 20s. So.
Oh, fair enough.
He probably just started watching wrestling in like 2008 and when Jeff was on the rise. Yeah.
Fair enough. Hoping for the best. Great shape, that's strong, but hoping for the best.
Hoping for the best. Just no ladders, no tables. I agree with Annika here. Very rare I say that. She says keep him away from Darby and away from tables, ladders, and chairs. I agree.
Tony Khan over here. Fucking SP Khan. Annika apparently has 2 strikes on her.
No,
She's black. She's black. She's a woman.
Oh my God! Will you this guy? No, you're the one who has a problem with them.
What? Who?
You.
It's 24. Jesus.
You don't know shit.
Jesus Christ. Roxy says the Hardys are legendary. They're always going to get a pop, especially Jeff. Yeah.
All right,
We
time to
also
jump off
got
some shit. What's the worst that could happen? What's the worst that could happen?
You know, my boy Billy says keep him away from bars, lounges, and liquor stores.
So we're gonna R. Kelly him and just keep him locked up. You can't leave and go see anybody. That's not how this works. Some people can't. Like I'm a person. I can't. I have awful self-control. I just don't have any at all. And Jeff appears to be the same way, except he's around way worse stuff frequently.
This is true. We're all praying for the best, though. We're all praying for the best here, that it works out this time. But next up, we had Kenny Omega from his home. The reason why I say it's his home is because we saw the Don and Kenny poster, the picture from back in 2021. It's in the background, ladies and gentlemen. I popped for that. And he cuts a video promo saying he thanks everyone involved, including the doctors, for helping him and the Young Bucks. He said he speaks to the Young Bucks almost every day, and they promise they take care of things in the ring. But he talks about when the BCC hurt Don, leaving his skull split open, he took it personally. I love him using more Michael Jordanisms. Omega gets it. He says Don is not the most likable guy, but he's still family. When you mess with family, you cross the line. He loved to say it's blood for blood, but that's what the BCC wants. When he sees them next time, it'll be much worse than that. Much worse. Any thoughts on this promo by Kenny Omega?
You got to be honest. I thought this promo was good and well placed up until the rest of the show. Then I just thought it was a waste of my fucking time.
I was like, this would have been good last week. But here we are before the following matchup. We see the Blackpool Combat Club coming out for a tag team matchup against the Elite Job Squad of Brandon Cutler and Michael Nakazawa. When Michael Nakazawa and Brandon Cutler come out, they're jumped by Claudio and Moxley. Both Nakazawa and Cutler get busted open on the outside, just dripping blood from Nakazawa on this. I will say Cutler had the better cut because the blood underneath his mask looked fantastic. It looked fabulous. The bell rings and Claudio starts slapping Nakazawa around. The crowd tries to cheer him on to fight back. He actually makes a comeback and starts chopping. He removes his shirt, but Claudio nails him with a clothesline chop to Claudio, and then he gives him the big swing. He spins Michael Nakazawa's shoes all the way off, and then locks on the sharpshooter. Cutler is able to fight him off. He attacks Claudio. Claudio sends him over the top, then heads back to Michael Nakazawa, who crosses his arms for a power driver, for a Ricola bomb, but Nakazawa backdrops him. Claudio tags out to Moxley. Nakazawa tags out to Cutler, but he's overwhelmed by Moxley despite making a comeback. King Kong lariat, bulldog choke. Michael Nakazawa breaks it up, but then he just stomps in Cutler's head while Nakazawa gets the elbows from Claudio and then the Ricola bomb. The Blackpool Combat Club win by referee stoppage. I guess no one cared about Michael Nakazawa and Brandon Cutler, including the Elite, because after the match, After the match, Jon Moxley gets on the mic and he says he wants the Young Bucks, he wants the Cowboy, he wants Callis, but they're all still in the hospital. They got glass jaws, bodies, and egos. He said the Blackpool Combat Club put the elite in All Elite Wrestling, and this brings out Kenny Omega. He comes out in jeans and his Jordans, but he's not alone. The Young Bucks sneak in from the crowd. They hit the double super kick to Yuta and Claudio, and then Kenny attacks Moxley. Kenny mounts him. The Young Bucks are stomping on Moxley. They eventually hit the BTE trigger on Moxley. All the while, Kenny brings out a tool chest. He brings it into the ring and he's about to launch it at him, but Matt Jackson stops him and hands him a screwdriver so he can get some revenge for Hangman Adam Page from last week. And Jon Moxley, who was all too happy for Bryan Danielson to use a screwdriver last week, had the fear of God in his eyes when Omega had the screwdriver. Omega attempts to hit him with the screwdriver, but Moxley bails. The Blackpool Combat Club go through the crowd while the elite stand charge in the ring. I will say it was a lapse in judgment or just an hilarious bit that the elite waited till after the match, after Nakazawa and Cutler were murdered, to come on out here. But this felt like a segment that the crowd was really into. Got a great reaction for the elite return, and the Blackpool Combat Club and the elite deliver the goods once again. What did you think here?
Last week's show was loaded. It wasn't very good, but it was loaded. I'm gonna assume this Omega promo was planned for then and they had to cut it. That'd be my guess. That's still no excuse. Fucking format your shows better, but that'd be my guess. This is dumb. In context, doing the Omega promo here and then okay, why it's here? It is here, and it was just a waste of time. It's silly. It made nobody look good. This match, match/angle, did nothing for anybody except maybe Nakazawa and Cutler, who appeared significantly tougher than I thought they were because they didn't just get randomly squashed. BCC didn't look any better. It took them way too long to beat these bums. The elite looked like assholes.
Well, they were definitely playing with their food. They were definitely playing with their food here.
If you fucking play fight with your daughter, are you gonna be in any danger ever of any kind? No.
They were never in danger.
All right.
They weren't. They weren't. When were they in danger? When were they in danger here?
Would you like me to? I know we did 2 straight thing about the Lakers. I'm gonna concede the point and change my verbiage. There was no damage. There should be no damage done of any kind, and there was. Okay, is the point.
That's fair.
Jesus fucking Christ, the fucking Webster's fucking dictionary over here. And it made the elite look like assholes. They didn't look assholes. Like, these are your friends, and you're gonna sit there and make gigantic entrances. I'm here for the screwdriver, but boo. Not sure why I'm being so down. It was a fun segment. I enjoyed the segment for what it was, but there's just too many plot holes. Aren't they at least supposed to be faces? Why are you letting Nakazawa and Jay Cutler get bloodied? First and foremost,
they got murdered. They got murdered.
You know they have no chance to win this match. How about we just jump them as soon as the match starts? How about we jump them right after the match? We're gonna wait until they get beat up and bloodied until we it's fucking ridiculous. That's a shame.
We got Alan Baker who says, man, some friends, they are the elite. They wait until after Cutler and Nakazawa got murdered first. They come out for the save. Hey, they couldn't handle the attack after the match. They asked for this fight, so they got to do the fight. But after the match, no, they couldn't handle that.
I hope Nakazawa and Cutler leave, in the story. They're fuck you guys. Fuck you guys. They can't be hanging around the elite anyway. We're baby faces.
Yeah, I think we're all in agreement that the promo should have been last week. You don't put the promo when he's just about to return. Literally 10 minutes before he returns, you play that promo. Katie says the callback to the ice pick spot from Full Gear 2019 was great. Yeah, that was a callback to their lights out matchup, but I mean, would you have known that if they didn't play that? If someone didn't put the 2 spots together?
Fuck no. fucking watching a fucking TV show. I'm not looking for Easter eggs. Like, what is this? The fuck is this? Fucking deleted scenes. What is this? Who cares?
That's what the Elite is all about. They're all about the Easter eggs. You know it. You know it. You've been saying
They
it.
are.
We got Simeon says Elite did a Jimmy if FC3 was getting murdered. Absolutely. Jimmy's ass would only show up if he gets called out.
Now depends on who's jumping you. I got your back.
If it's the BCC,
well, no, I absolutely got your back.
I don't think you're ready for this.
Blackpool Combat Club, they better wear out Kenny as long as they can. Hangman's gonna come out here.
That's just what I was about to say. Because fucking he had some awful headbutts this week. You see his fucking headbutts? Covers the guy's head first on.
Even when he's wearing a mask, he's wearing the mask, so the headbutts are really pretty much ineffective. But he still headbutted him.
He stinks. I'm sorry. Stinks is strong. I'm being mean. He's fine, but that shit was horrific. Stone Cold Steve Austin. What's the matter with you?
There she goes.
I didn't forget. I don't forget shit. Stone Cold Steve Austin. Oh my god.
Well, there you go. There you go, everybody in the chat. Joseph Witt had a worse take than everybody else. He says this BCC is supposed to be AEW's House of Torture. That's a horrible take. Horrible take. Horrible take. You take the crown. If you wanted to walk away with the crown, you walked away with the crown of the worst take that we've seen in the chat.
Torture. Torturing people.
No. You don't know the reference. You don't watch New Japan. House of Torture is basically the Job Squad. It's basically a job squad that cheats. Yeah. But yeah.
Fair enough.
We got backstage. We see Tony Schiavone. He's interviewing the Mogul Embassy, Prince Nana, Brian Cage, and Swerve Strickland. And Strickland says that he created Darby, so he's proud of him for earlier tonight. He said his win is my win. He's still got some unsettled scores to deal with, and they're leaving with something tonight. I liked how this promo in like a matter of 30 seconds kind of just wiped away his loss a little bit. Like, I made him what he is. I created him. I just got beat by my own creation. It's fine. I still got something else to deal with.
Swerve put on some weight too. It looks like he looks bigger than last time I saw him.
Yeah.
I watched Rampage.
Got to when you stand next to Brian Cage. I mean,
Brian Cage, he lost some weight too. He looked great, sir. You have that fucking. I won't say what I was thinking, but that gut that's caused by certain substances.
Anyway, next up we have Riho and Sky Blue going up against the outcasts of Tony Storm and Ruby Soho. I thought this match was pretty fun. All these ladies worked well with each other. Sky Blue, man, since the matchup with Tony Storm, I'm seeing improvements from her every single match, and she had a nice little comeback in this one. Unfortunately, she ran into the buzzsaw being the butt of Tony Storm. She hits the Sweet Cheeks music in the corner. Then she follows up with Storm Zero for the 1-2-3. This match goes nearly 6.5 minutes. Unfortunately, they had to do the post match where, again, it's the Outcast jumping the baby faces. They even do the L on Riho this time. And then they turned into a Wish.com version of the Shield and do the triple power bomb on Riho. Jamie Hayter runs out with her entrance music. She gets jumped by the numbers, but eventually Dr. Britt Baker, DMD, makes the real save. She ducks Ruby Soho, super kicks Tony Storm. She enters the ring. She brawls with Saraya a bit. She's about to stomp Saraya, but the rest of the Outcasts pull her out. So Britt and Jamie Hayter stand tall. And next week we're in Britsburg. So it's going to be Dr. Britt Baker, DMD, and Jamie Hayter versus Ruby Soho and Tony Storm. Just stop doing the same fucking angle every fucking week. It's like, dude, this was a good matchup, and that's all you needed to do. That's all you needed to do. You didn't even need Jamie and Britt this week. If you didn't have any good ideas that was different from the past month and a half, then don't do the same thing. But they did the same damn thing again.
He said the same damn thing again, referring to last couple of weeks. It's also the same thing that happened in the last segment. And I think one more time before that.
Yeah, we got Simeon in the chat who says having 3 back-to-back beatdown run-in save angles is some broke-ass booking.
It's horrendous. It's shocking. Unfortunately, book of the year, ladies and gentlemen. It's I don't want to be too rude about it. Fuck it, I will. It's awful. And unfortunately, all the ladies who would have an actual complaint about it aren't worth enough to complain about it. Who wouldn't complain about it? Well, Britt's fine. She's a superstar. Jade is probably even bigger. And Jamie Hayes is a champion. Some people who would matter are complaining about it, and they're not going to complain because fucking why would they? Everybody else, I'd keep your mouth shut because your release could come just like that. This is so dumb. Yeah, it's poorly booked. It's a poorly booked show, as I've said before, and I've said for forever. The talent he has on roster saves his ass more times than not.
This is true. This is just facts. Yeah, it's just a fact at this point. The Ross, this was not very well done, especially 3 consecutive segments that were basically booked the same.
And how many times did this segment happen? Like just with the women? This is the 4th week in a row? 3rd week?
This has to be since Revolution. Since Revolution. So we've had the 8th, the 15th, the 22nd, the 29th. Last week was the 5th. 6 weeks in a row. We've had the same babyface runs out to make the save in a different variation. Either it's Britt and Jamie or Riho with a pipe who makes the save for the babyfaces.
And I think part of it is I don't know why we don't want to make the Outcasts more threatening because they never accomplish anything. Ever. Which is
they've been winning matches. I'll give them that. They've been winning matches since they got Ruby, but they never complete their post-match beatdown. Then why don't they just leave afterwards? Like after 3 weeks of baby faces coming out and making the save, I think they would just leave after a while.
Oh my God, Jesus, horrendous. I'm sad because they have a lot of. I saw somebody on Twitter because Twitter's an awful place. Somebody asked a question.
Yeah, they did split it up last week. Last week they just had the Outcast with a promo after Riho and Jamie Hayter. It just feels like it's been every week since Revolution because they did it 3 times in a row on this one show.
There's no variation of it.
Yeah.
Folks are talking about. Oh well, wasn't important. Next.
Twitter.
Right. Somebody asked why this doesn't work. Why do women book so poorly? And then somebody answered, because the Twitter's awful, that the women aren't as talented as the men. Even if that is true, which probably is, just based on biology. What the fuck does that have to do with writing? What does that do with booking? What does that do with anything? What does that do with fucking effort of any kind? Put some effort into this fucking division, you cunt. I hate dummies so much.
They go on Twitter. I don't see how this is going to work. This is absolutely ridiculous, Sid.
MJF's hilarious.
And he's right. Next we have the main event. So sound off in the live chat. Last call for super chat donations. After the main event, where of course we're going to give you our match of the night, MVP, LVP, out of 10. What did we give the show? Thumbs up, thumbs down, thumbs in the middle. But the main event was Chris Jericho going 1-on-1 with Keith Lee. Like I said last week, I love the full beard gray look. I just love it. I love that he's just embraced it. He embraced the grays. If you're going bald, shave your head. If you're going gray, just let it be gray, but have a full beard. That makes it work. It completes the whole look. This one was Keith Lee's, I think it's his first singles match in a while on AEW Dynamite. Overall, he's only had 8 singles matches in AEW.
Jesus.
Yes, he's been here a full year, ladies and gentlemen. Over a year. That's ridiculous.
Well, we know what the issue is.
I mean, I can't say you're wrong. Can't say you're wrong on this one. Unfortunately, kinda, yeah. To each his own. But yes. This one, Chris Jericho was played a good foil to Keith Lee here early on. Keith gave him a kiss on the forehead, and Jericho sold this so well with his look of disgust afterwards. Just like, oh, what are you doing? This big black man just kissed me. This is not what my wife would like on January 6th. But yeah, they played well. We got a lot of Keith Leonisms in this one. Him catching Chris Jericho on the code breaker, turning it into a spirit bomb. He had a beautiful second rope moonsault, and he basically hurt Chris Jericho's knees because Chris Jericho got his knees up, but he basically sold it more than Keith Lee did. I love that Keith Lee did not sell a lot of the offense, and it took a lot of distractions from Daniel Garcia for Jericho to get any type of advantage in this matchup. He eventually does. He hits a nice little drop kick. He eventually gets Keith into the walls of Jericho, but Keith Lee makes his comeback. He hits a big old pounce that sends Chris Jericho into the ropes, but eventually more distraction from Daniel Garcia distracts the referee long enough for Aubrey Edwards to not see Swerve Strickland getting involved. He comes through the crowd wearing his mask. He hits Keith Lee with a foreign object. I'm not sure what it was. It looked like a boombox or a box of some kind. Nails him in the head. This allows Chris Jericho to get the 1, 2, 3 and win this main event matchup. I thought this was just fine. I think it was out of place in the main event. I don't know if this should have been the main event at all, but Chris Jericho beating Keith Lee due to Swerve Strickland, it finally gets us on the right path, I guess, with this Swerve Strickland feud with Keith Lee, so they can just finish this whole feud, this whole storyline that's been going on for a full year. Swerve Strickland looking like Randall from Monsters Inc. once again. Whenever he smiles, he just has the most evil smile ever. And Jericho getting the win. After the match, though, Jericho doesn't get to celebrate long as Adam Cole's music hit, and Cole comes out to console Keith Lee. He then leaves with Keith Lee, and in a mirroring of what Chris Jericho did after his win over Daniel Garcia 2 weeks ago, Adam Cole does not really look at Chris Jericho, but kind of gives him a side eye as he has taken the spotlight away from Chris Jericho. Chris Jericho's even demanding for his music to play, but they just keep playing Adam Cole's music as we end the show. I thought this was a nice little next step in the whole Adam Cole, Chris Jericho thing, with Adam Cole giving the same energy to Chris Jericho that Jericho gave him. But more importantly, this was to get us back on track with the Keith Lee and Swerve Strickland feud. But like I said, this didn't need to be the main event. If I had to swap things out, I would probably put the Elite BCC thing, even though it's Brandon Cutler and Michael Nakazawa in the main event. Either that or maybe the Darby and Swerve Strickland, but you probably couldn't do the promo afterwards. So there's other options on this show. Orange and Buddy Matthews is another option. There was other options besides Keith Lee and Chris Jericho here. I don't know if it should have been the main event. What did you think about this one?
Well, it's the main event because all you fucking wrestling nerds. Who's that?
The Good Brothers.
Thank you. Love symmetry so much so that you confuse with long-term booking. So the fact that Adam Cole's main event was this has been the main event too. Look, it's the same thing that happened with Adam Cole. Look, last year at Full Gear this happened, and this year at Full Gear this happened. Long-term booking. So that's why it's the main event. I really don't know what to tell you. It didn't fit. It didn't work. It ended poorly. Like it felt like a downer of an ending. Like not like, oh, I wanted this guy to win. Just like, oh, that's it. Oh, all right. See you next week, I guess. She's hilarious. This is what it is. I think you're right. You probably can't do the BCC, so that would be the most explosive option, like a proper main event finish. You can't do Darby because of the promo. Yeah, I don't know.
I say either Orange and Buddy, or probably the BCC. Despite it being Cutler and Nakazawa, that would have ended the show on a high with the Elite coming back.
Very true. Maybe we could have spaced out Kenny's promo. Fucking
Yeah, you could have aired that earlier in the show, and then it builds to the main event. And then it really feels like Kenny is like kind of giving them the, oh yeah, I'm not there. He's kind of like taking away from them thinking that he might be there by playing the promo on this show. Then it makes more sense. To play it right before their matchup did not make sense
at all. The only person that misses, like, I mean, I'm sure they do in WWE, but I don't watch enough to know. Sorry, but I miss fucking like build-ups within the context of the show. Like, I would have liked to have seen Nakazawa and fucking Cutler like psyching themselves up for this match when they know they're gonna get murdered. I don't ask for much. Oh, well.
Not much to ask for. But yes, that brings us to a close on another episode of AEW Dynamite. Sound off in the live chat with your match of the night. MVP, LVP, out of 10. What did you give the show? Jimmy, let's put our thumbs in the middle for the April 12th, 2023 episode of AEW Dynamite in 3, 2, 1. Thumbs up across the board, out of 10. What did you give the show, Jimmy?
7.5 maybe. Don't want to hold the crowd against them too much. 7.5.
Yeah, I can't hold the crowd against them, so I'll go with an 8 because I felt like the first hour was really strong. I thought the first hour was really strong. First hour was like a 9. Second hour was like a 7. So that's an 8.
Jesus.
16 divided by 2. It's an 8.
Fair.
Rickety is always so low. He's always like 4. He's like he's doing it on a 5 scale.
Ricky plays no game. I'm here, you sir.
0 to 5. 0 to 5.
I get it.
Who is your MVP for the show, Jimmy?
Oy. Jesus, this is a tough one. I'm gonna go with, look at all these correct ratings. I'm gonna go with Swerve. I think. I'm shocked. Caden gave it a 7. Jesus, that means I'm way too fucking high. So it's more like a 6, 5.5.
No, you can't change your rating now, nigga. What are we doing? MVP for the show, I'm gonna go with Darby. Good win in the opener. A really good promo. Probably one of his best promos on the mic as far as just being a babyface. A really strong night for Darby Allin. LVP, who you got, Jimmy?
A women's division. Sorry. I don't know what to tell you. It's over. Until he needs you again.
I'm gonna say something that you usually hear from Jimmy. Tony Khan. For back to back, same angles, same shit. Come on, man. Gotta do better. It made the women's angle feel like it was repetitive, despite it not happening last week. It felt like it was like the 6th week in a row we done the same shit. Come on.
Give Don Callis the book back. Stop being an asshole.
Don Callis is still recovering from getting his head split open. Damn,
I apologize to you, by the way. I apologize to you and whoever reported that about saying Don Callis was a phony.
You saw that gash in his head?
That shit was so gross. Holy shit. You poor bastard. I could see what you're thinking. Jesus.
That was crazy. And out of 10, oh no, we already did that. Match of the night.
That is difficult. I mean, it's only 2 options, but
yeah,
pretty close.
It is really close.
Shit. I'm gonna go with Darby and Swerve.
I'm gonna go with Buddy and Orange. I slightly rate that above, and I already gave Darby MVP, so yeah. That brings us to a close on another edition of AEWramble. Thank you so much as always, Jimmy. Please let the people know where they can follow you on social media and what you got going on your channel, Mandalorian, all that good stuff. Let the people know.
On Twitter, at Jimmy Macram, where I chastise grown men for having childish opinions about wrestling, typically. And Mandalorian. Yes, they're awful. awful people, terrible takes. And Mando this week, episode 8, 7.
Wow, we're already up to 8.
I've already gotten it wrong like 4 or 5 weeks in a row, but yeah,
I think it's 7.
7
I
or
think
8.
it's 7. I think it's
7 or 8,
7.
yeah.
Because I think they only do 8 episodes a season, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh shit, I think you're right.
Yeah, so damn, we only got 2 weeks left. That's sad.
Oh.
That should make
Yeah.
me a little bit sad. But yes, follow Jimmy, all that great stuff. I'll be on the channel with the Mando review, but he's got other great reviews as well. So check it out on his YouTube channel. You can follow me on the Twitter machine at TrueHillSP3. Follow the gang, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at TrueHillHeat. Also, patreon.com/TrueHillHeat. $3 a month gets you in. We got exclusive content over there, my Raw reports over there, Dark Power, plenty of great stuff to enjoy. Check out the True Hill Heat Sports YouTube channel because we'll be going live tomorrow at 12:05 p.m. Eastern Time with another edition of True Hill Heat Check, giving you an official preview of the NBA playoffs. We'll talk about the play-in finals, who we believe is going to be the 8th place in the East and the West, and we'll also talk about everything that's going on with the bracket. Check out our preview that's up right now, right here on the True Hill Heat YouTube channel for our New Japan
Capital
Pro Wrestling.
Collision. Oh my god, what a horrific name.
I knew you. That's why I wanted to show it, because I knew you were going to say something about it. Check out our preview of New Japan Pro Wrestling Capital Collision and Collision in Philadelphia with me and Jay News, previewing those shows. We'll also be live here tomorrow, 11:05 a.m. Eastern Time, for our Impact Rebellion preview with myself and Fightful's own Joel Pearl. Check out tonight on twitch.tv/True Hill Heat Gaming for Blunt Impact. Watching Impact on Access TV. We'll find out if
apologies to Malcolm X, especially looking at this picture, but I know it's Mickey James right away. I didn't even notice the other two. Sorry, Malcolm. Good lord.
Jesus Christ, why did we have to mention Malcolm X? Why?
Well, he's my favorite person ever, so I just wanted to apologize.
And check us out this Saturday, 11:05 a.m. Eastern Time, True Hill Heat 221. It'll be myself, True Draw Josh, and special guest Cresta Star of Fightful. So check us out for that. But for Jimmy Macram, it is me, your True Hill Phenom SP3. This has been AEWramble episode 89. It's showtime. We are signing off until next time.